Hi, I'm Bridget Naughton, and I'm here with my artist, Ashlyn Lean. And today I'm going to be talking to Ash about her art career and all of her paintings. So, the first question I want to start with is, when did you get involved into art?
So I always appreciated art, but I didn't actually do a lot of art myself. Until my senior year of high school, I took a drawing and painting class for one of my requirements, and really fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, so you got a late start into art.
Yes, I didn't really know that I was if I do say so myself, any good at it. So
Do you think getting a late start put you ahead of the game, or do you think compared to others you're behind, or how do you feel about that?
yeah, I definitely wish that I got into it earlier because I really liked the art teacher at my high school. So it would have been really cool to be able to learn from him for a few more years rather than just 1 year.
Okay, so since you started your junior year, how has your art evolved over time with the things that you've painted, your style, anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, so when I first started doing art, I was a lot more into drawing instead of painting, and then when I started trying painting, I kind of got more into that, and I would do a lot of shading because when I would do drawing, I would do mainly shading, realistic type of art. So when I did painting, I kept that style, and now I've kind of gone a more abstract route. These are two newer paintings that are a lot more abstract.
This is one of your newer
Well,
paintings?
not abstract, but not shading, not realistic.
Right.
Kind of a more cartoony look.
Right, it
And then,
seems like
this would
this
be
brings
more
out more of a
abstract.
creative mind over the shading that brings out more
More
realistic.
realistic, yeah, definitely. So it's just a lot more fun, I feel to do that type of art, and then it takes a lot more focus and work to do shading.
So, who have your biggest influences been since you've started this? Do you look up to any artists per se?
I think that when I first started, I really looked up to my art teacher because he was really, he really gave me the confidence to get into art and keep trying, and was always very encouraging. And all my classmates I would go after school and work with the AP art kids, and they were really talented. So seeing their work was really cool. And then artists like Banksy is really interesting because it's more of social justice. Yeah,
The social justice is definitely very interesting because that's been
Yeah.
put it more into play over the past
Yeah.
few years. So another thing is that since you've come to Syracuse, you've been in Newhouse, and obviously college is super hard with balancing work. So how has Newhouse helped you work on your art? I feel or how has college have you had more time for art, less time for art, and how has Newhouse played a role in your art?
Yeah, I've definitely had less time for art. I've only done maybe 2 paintings since I've been here. Just because I don't have a lot of time, and I kind of use it more as a way to relax and have fun and decompress, rather than trying to actually do art. So it's kind of more of a fun activity for me rather than something that I'm really focusing on spending hours and hours on. And then with Newhouse, it hasn't really impacted painting or drawing or anything, but it's kind of just I've been kind of opened up to different ways of making art through videos and photography, and I've gotten more into that side and kind of expanded my artistic reach, I guess.
Do you think being a painter helps with your photography, or is there one that you like better per se, or are they both just different?
Yeah, I think that, they're both different in the fact that, I don't know,
I guess it's kind of hard to be creative with photography since
Yeah,
it's
it's just
all
like you
there.
have to be kind of a different way. Like you kind of have to look at what's in front of you and kind of figure out a way to make it artistic.
Mhm.
And with art, it's like you don't really have to do that. You're just like, I want to make this like crazy idea, and you can just put it on paper. With photography, like you actually have to like create it in real life so you can take a picture of it. I don't know if that makes sense. They're
No,
hard to
that makes
compare
sense.
though.
Because they're two separate things, but they fall under the category of art.
Yes.
So one other thing is I saw your tweet and I was wondering if you like to do you surround yourself with other artistic painting friends per se, or do you ever like draw motivation from friends into your art?
Yeah, I'd say, like, I mean, I think even if people aren't, like, necessarily artistic, like, if you have friends that are just, like, very interesting and kind of have their own, like, sense of style and way of doing things and everything, like, that's always really inspirational, and that's always, like, giving me ideas for stuff. And then, yeah, it's cool to have, especially with painting and stuff, it's cool to have friends that, like, do paintings, because then they'll send you something and you're like, that's a really cool thing to paint, like, I want to do something like that, or like we'll paint together, and that's really fun.
Draw off other people.
Exactly, yeah. And they'll be like, oh, you should, and like all my friends are, whether they paint or not, they're very into like, and very supportive of my art, so I'll like ask them for ideas and stuff, and they'll always like kind of bounce ideas off with me, or like I'll ask their opinions on stuff. So yeah.
Awesome.
So either way.
Well, that concludes my interview with Ashlyn Lane.